So Apple Intelligence features are finally starting to roll out besides the new Siri. So I'm going to go feature by feature and review them. And at the end, I'm going to say if I think Apple Intelligence as a whole was a failure or if it was a success. So let's start off with the writing features because this is like the most advertised feature of them all and probably the most hyped one. So the part where it rewrites everything, I think can be useful if you're like, you write it in a professional tone and then you're like, actually, I think it should be in a friendly tone. Then you change it to friendly instead of having to rewrite like however much you just wrote. However, how often is that going to happen? Like, how often do you want to change the entire tone of an email or whatever? Not a lot. But I think the more useful part is the summarize. Now, it doesn't summarize like massive pieces of text. It's too lazy to do that. But for like shorter piece of text, like a document or like a couple pages, maybe two, it should work fine, and that's really useful for in case like you don't want to like read all of that. You can summarize it. So this feature, I think the rewriting part can be useful, but the proofreading and the summarizing and like making a table and all that, that's a lot more useful, and I like that one a lot more. But now let's talk about Genmoji. So this one it's a very weird one for me to review because on one hand I like it, but on the other hand it's just like it it's a bit useless because every time I want to send someone an emoji, I know what emoji I want to send them and I don't need to go AI generate one. And also it is very hidden. So to get to it, you have to go to the emoji tab, click the little Genmoji button on the top right hand corner, and then you can do it. And it's also just like 20 seconds more of like getting that emoji. Instead of like just typing out the emoji and sending it, you have to go to the emoji tab, click the Genmoji, describe it, give it a couple seconds, and then add it and then send it. So it's like 20 to 30 seconds more of just getting an emoji, which I don't think everyone is gonna like. But also, what I found is it doesn't make like five just completely different emojis. It'll make like one emoji and make different variations of it with slight differences. But I just don't feel like I would use it. Like, I like the feature. Like, I haven't seen something like that on any other phone or tablet or whatever. It's just, I don't think I would use it that much, but it works well if you're the type of person who would use it. Now let's talk about notification summaries. So there's been tons of talk online about, it giving you a wrong summary or a really funny summary. That hasn't happened to me. It's been giving me correct summaries, and I am in a couple group chats that tend to blow up once in a while. So instead of reading 30 messages, I can just look at the summary, which is a lot better than reading 30 text messages. But once it does obviously start giving me wrong summaries, then this is a useless feature. So that's a bug Apple's going to need to fix. But with me personally, it hasn't happened. So it's been working great with me. I like that feature. Now let's talk about priority notifications. So this one, I'm not really in the target demographic for it because the target demographic is like the type of people who get like 100 to 200 emails a day, but only like 20 of them need to be seen right away. I'm not that person. I don't get 200 emails a day, and most of the emails I get, I don't need to respond to them right away. So I'm not in that target demographic, but if you are in that target demographic, I can see this being helpful. But for me, it's just not. Now let's talk about image cleanup. So this is the only AI feature we have in the Photos app. Yes, by the way, the Photos app is awful, but I would like to see more AI features in the Photos app. I've heard Apple talk about it, like they don't want to make like a completely fake photo. But so that's why, like, for instance, Samsung can like reconstruct your face if you like put your hand over it. Apple can do that, I'm assuming. They just don't want to. But let's just talk about the cleanup feature. It works well. Um, it works better, obviously, with patterns or smaller objects or solid colors. that's with every image or like AI eraser feature. So yeah, it works well. I just couldn't see the average consumer going through each and every single photo in their camera roll and like cleaning it up to the T. So it's not for really past photos you have, it's for future photos that you're going to take. And maybe like a photo you took like a week ago or something. But you're not going to scroll back to like a photo you took like 5 months ago, for instance. Yeah, it's a good feature. It works well. I just would like to see more AI features in the Photos app. Now let's talk about Image Playground. So it took me around 2 weeks to get approval for this. So I was very excited and I jumped on it until I realized this is like just another AI generated image like software. Like I knew that from the beginning, but I don't know, I was like, oh, it's Apple, something special is gonna happen. No, nothing special is gonna happen. It's an AI image generator. I mean, I guess it's cool that you can like switch between animated and illustrated. I would never use it. I actually haven't opened the app since I've tested it just for this video, and I don't think I'm going to open it after that because I'm not going to send someone an AI generated image or use an AI generated image. I don't know why you would send someone an AI generated image. If you want to do that, sure, it's just there. Now let's talk about Image Wand. So Samsung has a feature similar to this, and I like the way that one works more. Image Wand is just kind of like Image Playground, but just it takes inspiration from your drawing. Now, it does require, I think, some sort of text input, but that text input can be a lot less than with Image Playground. Now, I like it that like my terrible drawings can be turned into something legible, but just Samsung's takes much more inspiration from your drawing. Apple just kind of almost makes up its own in a way. You can choose again between animated and illustrated, which I guess illustrated is a bit better since it's a bit more true to your drawing. But I like the way Samsung does it better. It's not awful the way Apple does it, but Samsung does do this one better. Now let's talk about text suggestions. This is the worst feature. I'm sorry, it just is. Because one, it never or almost never shows up. Like it only shows up for like, okay, thank you, or see you soon, or like something like that. And also, it doesn't adapt to your texting style. Like, okay, Apple, if you're going to make a text suggestion feature, should it not adapt to your texting style? Like, scan your texts, learn from it, and like adapt to that. Like, if you're the person who puts like the letter U instead of YOU, why is it giving, like, why doesn't it do that? I don't know. It just won't adapt to your texting style. So I won't, like, I can't really use it. Like, it doesn't sound like me when I text. And also, it rarely pops up. So, yeah, this is a bad feature. So, now let's talk about visual intelligence. So, this one is only on the 16E, the 16, and 16 Pro. And I mean, it's just a Google Lens. It's nothing we've never seen before. When you take a picture of something, like you'll get two options: ask ChatGPT or like search Google, which is exactly like Google Lens. It's just a faster way to access Google Lens or a Google Lens type feature on an iPhone. It's cool. It works well. I especially like asking ChatGPT for stuff since it's an actual smart AI, and the new series is taking ages to roll out. So yeah, it's a pretty good feature. Apple could have included it in the 15 Pros, but they just left it exclusive to the 16s. But yeah, it's a fine feature. It's nothing special. Now let's talk about the final feature, the ChatGPT integration. So I actually like this feature a lot because the new series is taking ages to roll out. So being able to ask a smarter AI something is nice. So there's basically two ways to do it. One, if Siri deems the question you're asking her more relevant to ChatGPT, or if you just tell her the question and then at the end or in the beginning say ask ChatGPT. They'll ask ChatGPT. So this is nice, especially since the new series is taking ages to roll out. Okay, but what is the final verdict? Is Apple Intelligence good or is it bad? Um, it's it has some good features, but most of them are bad. Like the ChatGPT integration, that's nice. Image cleanup, that's nice. I just want more AI features in the Photos app. Image Playground, it's useless. Text suggestions is just awful. The notification summaries for me are good, but for a lot of other people aren't. I'm going to say this how Marques Brownlee said it, is this is the worst it'll be. Which it's pretty bad right now, but it's only going to get better from here, again, as Marques Brownlee said. So, I mean, I hope with iOS 19 they give it more features and they give us a new Siri, more Photos app AI features, and a better Photos app just in general, like a better design. Yeah, I would consider right now kind of a fail, yes, because they built so much hype around it and they made it almost seem revolutionary, but you almost never interact with it. Like, you won't interact with any of these AI features unless you go out looking for them. Like, you're not going to use image cleanup unless you're specifically wanting to use it, which I guess for some people it's good. The AI features aren't that good. They're not going to change your phone or device in any way. Yeah, Apple Intelligence is kind of a fail. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.